Yesterday, we talked about barriers to sexual communication, which you can see on the board. And we talked about how, when we're communicating sexually and even non sexually, how there can be a threat perceived by the person that you're discussing with. It could be a personal threat you're feeling, right? Self. It could be worry about the partner, the threat you're feeling, or it could be the relationship. We went through a few discussions about how that works. Today, I want to give you the actual questionnaire in the study that they used to actually come up with how these triggers, get activated. So when we're trying to bring up a topic, it triggers something within us or your partner. And it is different for everyone, right? And the intensity is different for everyone. So everyone has their own triggers, their own activations, and can get angry. But you really want to know the topics and that the sexual communication is more difficult than the non-sexual. And that even within the sexual communication, who do you think has more of a concern, more of a trigger, more of a threat? The self, the partner, or the relationship? Meaning, do you think you're worried more about yourself in the communication, or you're worried more about your partner in the communication, or you're worried more about the relationship in the communication when you're talking and when you're having these worries about communicating? Studies show that the highest threat is actually with self. You're more concerned about yourself, higher than the partner worrying about your partner or worrying about the relationship. Isn't that interesting? And we compare that to the non sexual. Even in the non sexual, we are more worried about ourselves, which makes sense. Now, when you are communicating, I just want to go to these questions because I want you to know the type of questions that come up or the type of questions in terms of how you feel come up. That emotional response, that barrier is actually an emotional response. And everyone has their own emotional response, and you've got to know who you're dealing with. So be careful when you're bringing up, discussion questions or topics. You don't want to get into a situation where you're either at risk, in danger, or in a situation where you have to fear for your safety.